in my band were like doing classic rock stuff. Like it's like super heavy stuff. And then this dude's like, dude, I know exactly what you mean. He's like, I'm so into like, and he's like, I'm so into like Bon Jovi, and like they're like going off, and they're like, yeah, dude. And then like Jill and I are sitting there like, these guys are fucking AIDS, and we're like talking about it the entire time. And this dude's like, yeah, like I'm a computer animation guy, so like I like watch like a lot of film, and like he was going on and on about film, and we could not stop. Like we were trying so hard not to laugh at these fuckers.
Films or film, like
film, just film in general. It's like the worst.
No, that's what you say to be pretentious.
Yeah,
it's like you say. I love
cinematography.
Yeah. It's like literally like the worst version of it that you could like ever find, right? Like in two guys, like literally in my class, and we were laughing. And then Jill brings up like, hey, do you ever run into those people who like are like, yeah, I'm like really into classic rock or like stuff like that, but they have like no fucking clue what they're talking about? And it's like literally all of the time, because there's this guy that hangs out with us who's like, he's like, yeah, I'm like super into like Pink Floyd and stuff, and she was like, oh, like what's your favorite Pink Floyd album? He's like, Dark Side of the Man. Yeah. And then she was like, oh, and she's like, because she like couldn't remember like where that was in their discography, right? She's like where is, like when was that released? She's like, it was like their second album. Oh. And she was telling me about that, and she's like, I didn't think it was their second album. I was like, it is not their second album.
That's like mid-career Floyd,
yeah, it's like mid-career.
It's like 1970s.
It's post Animals and Wish You Were Here. Yeah. And like,
oh yeah, I wish Animals was before.
Yeah, Animals was their last album. As like their, I agree with you. Yeah.
Wait, what? Animals is their best album?
Yeah.
I'm of the opinion that Piper is their best album, but you're wrong. Like Sid Barrett.
Or Wish You Were Here. Or Metal. Actually, Metal's my favorite Pink Floyd.
Metal's pretty good.
Animals my favorite.
Okay, alright, so Kanye. You gotta give me Kanye mind.
Well, I've been recording this whole time. So. Hey, if anybody's listening.
Is there anybody out there?
This is the next fucking episode of the Sitting Around Talking About Shit
the next one
podcast. We have reoccurring guests. Introduce yourselves.
Dawson,
Garrett,
Matt,
Michael,
and then we also have
Dan,
and Allison.
Yeah, they're just gonna sit here.
Yeah.
All right, so I think we gonna rank Kanye albums, boys.
do you want to just go around and give our personal rankings first?
Yeah.
Let's just get that out of the way.
No. I'll go first.
All right, here we go.
Dan, you can rate State Champs albums.
wait. Graduation, Jesus.
Hold on, let me fucking do it. Let me do it.
That's what I'm talking about.
Graduation, Jesus,
I got it right.
Pablo.
What?
And then what's next? My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, Late Registration, Yay, 808s, and College Dropout.
That's interesting because I didn't think you liked Late Registration that much, but then
I listened to it again. It's a little higher.
That's
I
a really
fucking told you.
I still don't like the skits. I don't like the skits.
So my ranking would be Late Registration. This is in best to worst. Late Registration, Yeezus, Pablo, and Dark Fantasy are pretty interchangeable to me. Either one of those can be third. Graduation, 808s, College Dropout, Yay.
Okay.
Right,
fucking Yay at the bottom. I don't like that.
No, just
Yay's
wait,
good. It's solid.
Mine, I'm going to go with Dark Twisted Fantasy at the top. Kids See Ghosts, number 2.
That's an entire different
We're not
artist.
including
They're their
Okay.
own artists now.
Okay, alright. So, number 2 would be Yeezus. 3, I'm going to go with College Dropout. 4, Graduation. 5, Life of Pablo. 6, 808s.
Okay.
7, Late Registration. Is there another one I'm leaving out?
I don't think you put Yay in there anymore.
I'd say Yay and Life of Pablo are probably equal for me.
Interesting.
That's really interesting.
So Late Registration is your least favorite.
Because
then.
Yay is
I'm not
like,
saying it's bad.
No,
Right.
I just thought it was
Let's
interesting.
preface this like no Kanye albums are bad.
I'm on that.
Except they're just worse than others.
Watch the
Except for
Throne.
Watch the
To
Throne.
me, the worst one is Yay, and it's like mid tier. Like I don't think it's a bad album. I just think it's kind of average.
I don't think it's maybe like his best album musically. But
Yeah.
I think like in terms of his like
Are you fucking kidding me?
okay. In terms of like his personality, like evolution. his like evolution of person. Should I just not talk?
We'll just
All right, we're back.
Okay, so my favorite Kanye album is The College Dropout, and then after that is My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Third is actually kind of a chalk-up, but I think third for me is Late Registration. Then afterward, Yeezus, and then actually Yeezus and The Life of Pablo for me are tied. Like, I like both of them a lot. And then Graduation, and then... Oh, actually, no, not Graduation. Yay, Graduation, and then 808's last.
Interesting.
Yes.
You see it?
Okay, so
Solid.
wait, hold on. So you said
I should write this down.
so you said Ye and Life Pablo are equal.
Yeah, for me.
That's really interesting because I guess not like Yeezus and Life Pablo kind of come from the same like energy that like Kanye has, like the like whole fucking like
God
crazy
complex.
God complex thing, but it feels like Ye is like an opposite to that, you know?
Yeah.
It's like the like depressive sides of like his like bipolar disorder and stuff. So it's really interesting to me that you would put like two of those very different albums on the same level.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong. I'm just saying it's like interesting.
Yeah. Well, like I think Ye is like kind of like shows his contrast, which
Right,
like he hasn't
yeah.
shown in years.
That's why I think it's really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
too, but-
So I'm gonna open this one up with. I actually didn't start listening to Kanye, fun fact, until The Life of Pablo dropped. So Kanye is not someone that I've like listened to growing up, you know. And so I think that's like heavily like influenced like the way I think about him and like my personal taste. So for me, my favorite one is probably College Dropout at number 1. Number 2 is probably Graduation. Then number 3 is actually Yay. And then for me, 4 is probably Dark Twisted Fantasy. And this one is 5, but it's pretty much, it's kind of tied, the remix of The Life of Pablo.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and then
Interesting, okay.
808's, Late Registration, and Yeezus.
So wait, when you say the remix, you mean the final version,
So,
or
like,
the
yeah, the final,
Yay
like,
2016,
thing?
like
Not not the first version that released,
Oh,
like after
yeah,
like,
I
the
thought
final cut.
I thought
like-
that's what we were saying.
Oh, is that what
Yeah,
you were
we
saying?
were
Yeah.
all saying like the final cut.
Yeah, final
right?
cut,
Yeah, okay, yeah. So I'm
For
down.
sure.
Yeah,
I don't think
final
any
cut,
of us
final-
like
yeah.
like the original.
No one
version.
does. It's because like I listened to like The Life of Pablo the first time. I was like, this is like dog shit, right? Like that was my introduction to Kanye, and then like it got remixed. I heard about
Right.
that and I listened. And I was like, oh, like this is like actually really good.
Yeah, because I thought Pablo was shit when it came out,
Yeah.
and then
So
The-
yeah,
I didn't listen to the
I know
remix
like
until
I'm the
later.
outlier pretty much on Ye. I just like really like seeing Kanye like.
No, dude, I love it.
Yeah, I know like I just like know mine's like really high. I just think it's because like I really enjoy seeing someone's like God complex like full like it's almost fully destroyed on Ye like in a lot of parts. And I also like seeing like his evolution as a person too, like on Violent Crimes, which is my favorite song off the album.
yeah, me too.
And like a lot of people like attack that song for like what is it like oh it's like a man like protecting a woman, but I think like
But it's about
like,
his daughter.
yeah
though.
it's like about his daughter for one, and two like it also shows like how different like Kanye is, because like he can go on the talk show and be like, you know, I still go to Pornhub and stuff, but like
Right.
you can tell there's like been a paradigm shift in like the way he thinks in like a lot of places, and I appreciate that from you.
I like that. Did anyone put College Dropout in their top 3?
I
put it
did.
as number
I think
Yeah, I put it
everyone
as
did
number one.
except us.
Yeah. So I hate College Dropout. I think it's his worst album.
Whoa.
Wow.
Why is that?
Yeah.
It's just
Jesus
real-
Walks
It's just really uninteresting.
Through the Wire.
I just think compared to everything else he's done, it's just the weakest.
Really?
I
think
don't
it's
hate the
uninteresting.
College Dropout. I think it's fine.
I guess I don't.
second to least
I
favorite.
don't hate it, but I just think it's like really not amazing in any way. Like it's just not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think Through the Wire is the best Kanye West song.
And like I've said, I don't like when he does skits.
Oh,
See, I love
to
the
me,
skits on
I think
that.
they're fun.
No, yeah, I love the skits.
I love the skits.
To me personally, Late Registration has always sounded like a better, like more fleshed out version
It
of
is.
College Dropout. That I think it's tighter. I think the songs like are more overall good, because on College Dropout, I feel like there are few tracks on there that like it just runs a little too long, and it's, you know, there's too many tracks on there that I just don't care for all that much, that I just think are okay. and I don't get that at all with Late Registration. Like, I love every track on Late Registration.
I think maybe the thing
personally.
that impresses me so much about the College Dropout is that's like his debut album.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's so influential and, has fucking
And like a
changed the
milestone
course
for
of
his
hip-hop.
career being,
Yeah.
the debut.
Right.
But
I mean, it's like, and I rank purely based on like my enjoyment of albums.
Right.
I don't factor
Right.
in anything else.
Okay.
when I
Because
listen
if
to that.
if you really look at like all Kanye albums, like kind of through like creator's eye, I guess,
Uh-huh.
like just not as like a fan, but just like a little more objectively, Obviously that's not like a thing.
That's not.
But if you like look at them like that, like they're all like good albums,
Mhm.
obviously. But it really, with Kanye, it really just does come down to like your pure enjoyment out of it. So
Yeah.
I actually, real quick, I want to ask you guys a question about Kanye because I've had this argument with a teacher about like what Kanye West like is, right? And like he's of the opinion that like this like
He's a
individual.
god.
No, he's of the
Yeah.
opinion that he's an idiot, right?
Mhm.
That like Kanye West is like an idiot, but like I'm personally of the like opinion that like Kanye West is like not a god, but like certainly a genius whenever it comes to like producing music
he
and
definitely
like
is.
identifying
Yeah.
the sounds he needs, and also like how to like using his own personality to like change the way people perceive his music,
Yeah.
and like get them to like hype them up or like stuff like that.
that was the whole thing recently when people were freaking out about like the foreign Jewish slavery bullshit.
Yeah.
It's like
He totally did that.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, Kanye's new album is about to fucking come out. He
Yeah.
has like 5 like Kanye produced albums coming out this summer. He does
Yeah.
this shit all the time to get people
Yeah.
like talking about him.
Yeah.
As
I don't know why
a-
anyone was like surprised about it.
Yeah,
Oh shit! What was I gonna say to you a minute
I
ago?
don't know.
as a producer.
Oh no. Well, that, but also earlier you were talking about how you can rank it based on like significance or like quote unquote objective.
Yeah,
Objectively
I didn't
good.
want to use that word. I just
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reason I rate based on personal enjoyment is because I don't feel like doing like an objective analysis of it is like very interesting because
Yeah.
obviously people are gonna have relatively the same opinion on that.
Mhm.
I think it's way more interesting to like rank based on how much you enjoy
Yeah.
them because
that's why Graduation is so high for me.
Right,
It's
like-
just like
Yeah, same here.
because
that's
if we're going
fucking
like
Yeah.
bumps.
It has
I
so
love
many
it.
bangers.
Or
Yeah.
808s and Heartbreaks. Like that is something that like I personally like enjoy a shit ton.
I like 808s because it like literally changed hip hop. I
yeah
think like the trend that's going on now, Kanye was doing on 808s.
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
also think that like in terms of 808s, like where it was in music, like I think that change was like happening at the time anyways, and Kanye just like I thought the change was happening like a little bit before 808s.
Yeah.
I don't know. That might just be my.
I
he
don't-
took it and like fleshed it out fully.
Do you guys think 808s gets more credit than it's due because of the stuff
I
with
actually
his
think
mom?
808s is kind of underrated.
Yeah, me too.
Because
I think it's
I've
underrated.
seen a lot of people hate 808s,
Mhm.
but I personally I love 808s.
like in retrospect, I think it's underrated. Like the way
Yeah.
people look back at it.
I think Graduation's underrated.
No,
I-
yeah,
I
I
do
do
as well,
too.
yeah.
It's because
it's become
amazing.
like so much of like the most popular Kanye album or whatever. Like I hear that sometimes. Like it's almost become underrated by like huge fans of Kanye because a lot of like diehard Kanye fans will be like, oh, it's his worst album. Like it's like it's got like
definitely
his
not.
most popular songs on it or whatever. But
It's
in
just-
that respect,
that's just why like
also
they're all good.
every time I heard the Can song the other day that he samples on Drunken Hot Girls, and I was like, holy shit, like it blew my mind. I had no idea that he sampled Can on that album. I was like, that's
What-
so fucking
Off
weird.
what Can record?
It's I can never
Is it the
pronounce
one
right.
with the can?
Yeah,
on it?
it's
Like
it's
I
Sing
don't know
Swan
what it's called.
Song is the name of the Can track.
But yeah, I don't know. Like what got me into Kanye was neither his personality. It was like his like ear for like what he produced. You know, like I like I said about Pablo. Like I didn't listen to Kanye until Pablo, right? I think you said that's the same for you, Dawson.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's probably most
but, like,
of us.
Like there's just something about like I listened to Pablo and I was like, I need to listen to Kanye now, and so like I went through and I listened to Kanye's discography, and like to give you like some background, like I haven't listened to, I think the only Kanye album I've listened to more than twice is Yay. And that's just because
Really?
I just
Interesting.
because my opinion isn't fully set yet, I think, because I think that someone like Kanye definitely deserves more than 2 listens for each album.
for sure.
Because there's everything he's putting into his music and where he's taking influences from and the sounds that he produces and stuff. And Yay just came at a time where I love short albums, and I still love short albums. It's always been a preference of mine. And I just something about the melodies and the features he had on that blew me away. I'll continue to talk about Violent Crimes because I can still sing that song almost every word.
Yeah.
But I think it's because that came out at a point where that's what I needed to hear, and so for clarity, that's I think why it's so high up there, because Yay was just it just came out I needed to hear that, and I needed that from Kanye's personality too. I think a lot of people needed that from Kanye's personality.
Mm-hmm.
To
me, Yay, the reason it's at the bottom of my list is just because, I don't know, something about it just made me feel like it was Pablo B-sides, stuff that he had in the back of his mind, because I really only love Violent Crimes and Ghost Town on that album.
I'm sorry.
All the rest of the tracks to me are just
I love it.
okay.
I like every track on Yay. I don't like All Mine.
See, I love that. I love that track.
I don't like.
I don't like. What's the name of that track?
The first.
Yikes. I think Yikes is a banger. That's
I
probably-
didn't like Yikes the first time I heard it, but now it's actually, I think it's one of the better tracks in the
Yeah.
album.
The opening track on it, I actually hated it at first because I thought his spoken word is one. I don't think I like his skits, but I didn't think that his spoken word. on that was,
I liked that.
I hated it. I just I was
like
this is
that.
so.
He
I
was
was
just spilling.
I actually.
to me, I was this is so edgy.
Thought about
I
killing
can't
myself
this is
today.
this is what happens on bad emo albums. Is they have spoken word or some edgy lyrics that are just way too far. But
that's,
the more I thought about
that
Kanye,
was Kanye.
yeah. Then
that's
the more I
him.
thought about Kanye, I was he's so overblown. As a person and a personality, it just makes sense. And whenever I think about it, this is coming from Kanye, I'm I got into that headspace. I was this is Kanye. And this is part of what makes him good.
And I think one of my favorite things about listening to Kanye West is listening to a song and hearing the lyrics, and you're just kind of listening to it, and then he says something, and you're you gotta pause it and take off your headphones. You're that was fucking so stupid.
Yeah.
Or that's my favorite part.
What is that lyric? I love your titties because that's really
Yeah.
two things at once. And you just pause it and you're like,
Oh.
what? And
And let me hit it raw, fuck the outcome.
Yeah.
None of us will be here without outcome.
or what's the other? What's the one where he's oh shit.
Oh, let me fuck your heart in the sink.
Yes, yes.
Yeezus, I've said it a few times, but Yeezus is sometimes to me simultaneously his best and worst album.
Yeah, I agree.
It's almost it goes so far on the crazy bad spectrum that it almost goes back around into being great again.
See, that's I just can't get that. I just can't make that wrap around yet on Yeezus. That's why it's at the bottom.
It
I
took
love
me
that
probably 20 listens of Yeezus
Yeah.
to really love
Or
it.
work
Yeah.
out to it.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
And then one day it just clicked.
I never had that problem.
I heard On Site.
Yeah.
And I was just fuck yeah.
Yeah,
That sounds awesome.
I know. I was I didn't like On Site first. I'm
Yeah.
what this is overblown. And I heard it one time. I was probably
Oh,
upset
man.
or something. And then
I really
That's
never
just
had
barely
that
under
problem.
registration for me.
I guess I'll say my how I got into Kanye. All I had heard about him was the shitty stuff, and I was I didn't really care either way. And Dawson was talking about him one day, and I was I finally decided I'm gonna go ahead and just listen to his discography because why not, And I listened to it, and I was fuck,
Yeah.
this is amazing. This
Yeah.
is so good. And there was a lot of sorry.
No, go ahead.
There was a lot of songs on each album where I was I've heard this on the
Yeah.
radio or on TV or whatever, and I had no idea it was a Kanye song.
Also, another thing about Kanye that I think is really interesting is that he's got he's been around for what a little over 10 years at this point.
dude.
20 years.
Yeah, 20 years really?
College Dropout was.
Was it 2001?
07.
No. College Dropout
College
was.
Dropout was
No,
Oh,
College Dropout
04.
was-
Yeah.
04. Okay,
Yeah.
so he's been around for 14 years now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so the thing about Kanye is that he's put out like a lot of shit in 14 years. I think 8 albums in 14 years is one like pretty impressive. And I think it's also impressive that you can listen to like his entire discography so easily and so quickly, even though like he doesn't have a lot of short albums. You know, like
his albums definitely flow very well. You can sit there and listen to fucking like Yeezus or whatever, and it's like, oh shit, it's already over. That was great.
I think
great
the
time.
best thing about his music is just how re-listenable it is. Like I've listened to some of his albums like a lot.
I was just looking at my
still
last
not there.
FM. I've scrabbled Graduation like 70 times in the last year.
go ahead.
Oh no, you go.
No.
I was gonna.
I was just gonna talk about something just like really short.
Oh yeah.
About Graduation. I don't know why, but I'm kind of in love with like the bear from Graduation. Like it's such a mascot.
It looks the best on Graduation.
I think that is like not including Pablo and Ye. I think his cover art is like really fucking good.
I think Pablo's cover art
love
is good.
I like Pablo.
Really?
Yeah, that's
I'm
like one of my
not-
favorite.
The only one I really don't
I love
like
the
is
abstract feel
Dark
like
Twisted
cover.
Fantasy.
Really?
Because,
I-
like,
really?
I've seen
that's
so many.
the best cover.
Because I've seen so many like variants of it.
Cover?
Like everyone fucking makes like variants of it. I honestly don't even know which one's the real one because I've seen so many different ones.
The only one I really dislike is like I actually dislike
Yay.
is the Yay one. I just think the cover
I
art
don't
for that
like
one is
that
like
cover.
shit.
I fucking
But,
hate
like,
that cover.
Because like
Also,
especially 'cause
on top of it, the I hate being polar. It's awesome. Bipolar is awesome. Is like a fucking Tumblr quote. Like he didn't write that or make that up. It's like online. You can find it on fucking Wattpad.
Unlike the opening track of Ye, it's not something that you're like, oh, this is Kanye. You're like, oh, this is just edgy. You know, like this is just like this doesn't even fit.
Apparently, he like made that album cover like the day it came
Oh
out.
that doesn't surprise me
while
at
I was
all.
driving. Yeah.
The best Kanye art is Kids See Ghosts. I think
That's true.
Yeah.
It is.
No,
It
I'm not-
fucking
I don't think
is.
so.
it is.
I agree. It is.
I think
Even though it's not technically a Kanye.
my favorite cover art is probably either Graduation or Late Registration.
Yeah, I really, even though College Dropout isn't my favorites, I do really like the cover of College Dropout. Late Registration's like about the same.
Yeah.
I really like the 808s cover personally. I like the ripping in half of the heart. Like I always like that iconic.
It
cover.
looks nice. It from like a graphic design perspective, like 808 and Heartbreaks like has it down pat. I think, but yeah.
So, I was gonna transition to what are some of your favorite Kanye songs?
Good morning. Fucking on site.
Yeah.
Shit. I'm gonna have to look at the albums. Let's.
Probably on site. I'm in it. I fucking love.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
in it.
that was really underrated.
Yeah. What else? I like Real Friends. Love Real Friends. Shit. So pretty much every song off Beautiful Dark. Dark Fantasy. Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Power. Dude, there's so many songs on Beautiful Dark.
Through the Wire.
Fucking.
I fucking love. I really like
Ghost
Through the Wire.
Town.
No, dude. I am dead set that Violent Crimes is the best track on that album.
I like Violent
for
Crimes
sure.
more than Ghost
Yeah.
Town for sure.
I mean, I wasn't fucking comparing, but I was just, like, Ghost Town is just. And I feel free.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
amazing.
I just
I
like
love that part.
So
like
good.
to me like Ghost Town.
Violent Crimes is amazing too.
Yeah,
though,
like
for
to
the
me
record,
like Violent Crimes is actually one of my favorite Kanye songs. I talk, and you guys probably figure that I talk about it all the time. But like I just feel like what he did, not thematically on Ghost Town, but like musically was just done a little bit better on Violent Crimes.
I feel like Ghost Town, while I do like the track a lot, it's kind of just a rehash of like Dark Fantasy era Kanye because it's got like those guitars in the background. Like that sounds like it could have been straight off of like Dark
See,
Fantasy.
you have
Kids See Ghosts?
such a weird.
Yeah, actually, I liked Ye more than Kids See Ghosts when it first came out, and now I don't really like Ye that much, and I like Kids See Ghosts a lot.
Yeah, literally every time I've listened to Kids See Ghosts, I'm like, this is like
It's
one of the best
really
things
growing
I've
on me.
listened to. Yeah.
Wait, did you go to the club already?
What?
Wait, it's only 9:30.
It's an 8 a.m. tomorrow, I think.
Oh yeah.
I thought it would be like way later. You have such a weird thing with Ye. It's like, oh, it's just a rehash of this and this.
That's
like,
just what it sounds like to me.
I don't
It sounds
get that.
like
I've never heard
like with
that.
every one of his albums, I feel like it's had like such a distinct sound from one another. But Ye feels like it was like half Pablo, a little bit of dark fantasy, a little bit of like just the kind of.
I don't
like,
see that
joyous.
at all.
You really don't hear the sound of
No, like,
Pablo
it sounds-
and Ye? Can you guys back me up on this?
I think Pablo is more electronic.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
Well,
he
I'm not
may,
saying
he
it
may
sounds
like
exactly the
pull like
same.
remnants from his other albums, but it's because it's like he's Kanye. Like,
Wait.
I feel like it was too similar.
Wait.
though.
Wait.
Like, it wasn't
Black
original
Skinhead
enough.
and Hold My Liquor.
Yeah.
I just want to point out those two tracks as like I fucking love those.
I was
Mine
gonna say
like
Hold My
Yeezus.
Liquor is one of my
Literally, there's
favorites.
better tracks on Yeezus than those.
I don't know what it is
Dude,
about
no,
those tracks,
dude.
man.
Hold My Liquor is
No, I think that's the best
maybe,
track on
yeah.
Yeezus.
maybe the second,
Yeah.
second best. I think after Onsite,
Yeah,
maybe
for sure.
just as good as
I
Onsite.
don't know.
And then-
I'm in it just bangs so hard.
Yeah, I'm in it is
Love
really
I'm in
good.
It. What's the last song?
Bound to.
Yeah, I love that
Down
too.
to
What's our favorite track? What's your guys' favorite track off of Graduation?
Probably
Can't
Good
tell me
Morning.
nothing.
I
Probably good.
like.
Ooh, interesting choice.
I legitimately love every track in Graduation.
Good
Like,
Morning.
There's not a
I
track
Wonder.
I don't like.
I
wonder.
Personally, I've never liked Stronger that much. Maybe it's just because I heard it so much when I was younger, but I don't love that track personally.
I really like.
Flashing Lights.
I really like.
Oh
yeah.
the other one I was trying to think
Yeah.
about. Yeah, actually, no, that
I
is
really
my
like
favorite song
The
on that
Glory.
album.
Myself and Good Morning. I think those are my two favorite.
Yeah.
There's not a fucking bad song on Graduation.
Everybody always says like Drunken Hot Girls is bad or Barry Bonds is bad, but they're not. I don't think they're bad. I think they're like okay at worst. Okay, so my favorite Kanye tracks would have to be definitely "Devil in a New Dress." Like that's one of my favorite songs ever. God, the guitar solo like mixed with. And I hate Rick Ross, but like his verse on that track is so fucking good.
Yeah.
And I think Mike Dean produced that track, but just the way like the guitar kind of goes under him, and then like when he's like, "I'm making love to the angel of death, catching feelings never stolen when we're chasing my steps," and then like the guitar is like the only thing else in the background, and it like comes back in. Like I fucking love that part.
We
so
haven't talked
much.
about Runaway.
Yeah, Runaways. I mean, that's.
I love
masterpiece.
Runaway.
It's a
It's
great,
one of my
great
favorite
track.
ones.
I really like not that album, but Ultralight Beam. I really love.
yeah, I'm
fucking dig.
We Major is definitely one of my favorite Kanye tracks.
When I-
Also,
then
Touch the
what was
Sky.
it? Yeah, that one's good too.
And Gold Digger.
I don't know, Matt. What are you?
Yeah.
What are,
I
what
wouldn't
are
say it's
some
one
of
of my
yours?
favorites. I like it
Some of
though.
mine?
It's
Yeah.
a good track.
What is it?
I'm forgetting some.
I like, what is it?
Definitely Hold My Liquor for sure.
What,
Yeah.
yeah, Hold My Liquor, yeah, it's so good. I like,
Wait, Dan, what's your favorite Kanye song?
Oh, they're all just. Like, how can you compare them?
I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah.
every time Kanye has a guitar in a song, he just uses it so well.
Yeah, Gorgeous.
And I love how like sparingly he uses it, but when he does, God, that's like some of his best tracks.
Yeah, I love Gorgeous off My Beautiful Dark
Yeah,
Twisted
yeah.
Fantasy.
There's no sound of
Kid
guitar.
Cudi
But I
is
can't make it
moaning
else,
on that.
dude.
Yeah, real quick.
Like, no question.
I want to get through. What are some of your guys?
Yeah.
If you can think of them off the top of your head, if you can't, that's fine. Like least favorite Kanye line.
Line?
Yeah, like
Oh,
shit.
for me, because for me
rough.
it's actually on Ye, and he's like, he's like, yes, Mr. Westman. It just seems like, and then he's like, it's like I don't have anything against like, okay. PSA. I don't have anything against
we're going
Christians.
with it.
All right,
Oh.
I
but
know.
like that line where he's like,
I'll say it.
yes, I'm very Christian.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
Oh, that's on
Mr.
Kids See
Westman.
Goes.
Is that on Kids See Goes?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
thought
it
that was
is.
on
It's
Ye.
on the song Kids Who Goes.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because I was just listening to that earlier today.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
yeah.
Yeah, because we were talking about this in the car. We were talking about this in the car.
That song
It's
is
like-
fucking great.
Yeah,
I
love
hate
that
that
track.
line.
Yeah.
I just think it's
Yeah.
so like I just think it's such a throwaway
When
line. I think
Con-
it's
or-
such a throwaway.
Actually,
Cudi
now
is
that you
so
say
good.
that, that's probably one of my least favorites too, honestly.
What was it? I love Cudi on that song. That
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
God,
I
his
got
moaning
straight
is so-
chills for
his
some reason.
moaning is so nice.
I think I've
Yeah.
seen that meme about Kid Cudi from Kids See Ghosts where it's like I hate whenever I'm talking to a girl and like she blocks me because I can't reply to her shit like where it's like and like bitch what are you like Kid Cudi like
Kid Cudi's moans cure cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Kanye West.
What's your least favorite Kanye song?
Oh!
Barry Bonds.
I can't believe I forgot. Lost in the World. That's one of my favorite
Yeah,
Kanye tracks.
love
That
that
song is
song.
fucking great.
Yeah, I'd say my least favorite is like, I don't really like, what is it? Famous off the Life of Pablo.
Really?
I'm
I
not a
like that
huge
track
fan
a
of
lot.
that song.
For me, it's probably
Or FML.
For me,
off
it's-
Life of Pablo.
for me it's
Yeah,
probably
I-
So
yeah.
Appalled. I'm actually not a huge fan of So Appalled.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about it. Like, maybe it is just like all the features on it. Like, there's a shit ton of features on it, and that just might be it. Like, I just feel like a little overwhelmed by it. But like, I don't know. That's probably me.
I don't like all of
Most
Lights
of
very
the
much.
songs on College
Really?
Dropout because
Oh,
it's
wow.
not a good album.
Nice.
Wait, like the interlude or the track?
The track.
Okay.
Literally, the only 2 songs I have downloaded from College Dropout are Jesus Walks and the new workout plan.
You reuse that.
Yeah,
you
I know.
you
Tracks
like
on
that
it.
song though a lot. Don't
Yeah.
You?
New
it's
workout
fun.
plan? Yeah, actually, that's one of the few tracks on College Dropout I actually really like.
All right,
I love the production on that track.
Dan. Now it's time for Dan's corner. Dan, you talk about music for like 10 minutes. It doesn't have to be.
I'll
Kanye.
talk about Kanye.
Okay.
Like stuff I didn't know. I didn't know he was bipolar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know he had a bear as a mascot.
Yeah, well, I don't think he uses it anymore.
He does. He used it
Yeah,
for his
it's
first
just
3
his
It
albums.
was like and it was
Okay.
like then it kind of like continued through the 2000s. Like people like use it as a mascot and
Okay.
stuff. But like yeah.
I had a question. It was like, what are your favorite like collabs he's done? Either him being featured or other people being
That's an interesting
featured.
question.
Well, Kid See Ghost is like.
Yeah.
I already know what I'm gonna say.
Kid See Ghost, and then.
Like him being featured on the song? Is that?
Yeah, or him
just him
featured
doing
on the
Piss
it.
on
video.
Your Grave.
Yeah,
That is
yes,
my favorite
yes.
fucking track.
Piss on Your
It's
Grave.
Piss on Your Grave by
Yes.
A lot of
Travis
people
Scott.
hate
Travis
that
Scott.
song.
No, that song is a
and
banger.
that bangs so
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
hard.
The whole album bangs.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
love Rodeo. That's one of my
Yeah.
favorite pop rap.
And then
albums ever.
Dawson, the fucking, you know the one I'm talking about, the one where he goes crazy on the end.
Oh, that part.
That part,
his speech
yeah.
is so trash
On
on
the
that
Schoolboy
song,
Q
but it
song,
sounds
that
so
part, have you
funny.
heard
Oh, I
He's like,
don't.
Yeah,
fucking
It's so fucking
Yeah.
funny though.
Yeah, beggars can't be choosers. This just ain't Chipotle.
Okay, worst gay lines. It's probably on that song, but also
Sounds
it's
fucking
another one of those
insane.
things where it's like it's so bad it's good.
Yeah.
No, it's
Like,
amazing.
I just
I
fucking
would've
love
used
how
it.
stupid it is.
Wait, can we talk about his fucking like what is that on Kids See Ghosts where he just starts to like beatboxing but it's not
Oh
even
no, I
beatboxing.
love that. That
Like,
was
it's
so
like,
funny.
I remember the first time I heard that I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, I was like, I was like, what the fuck
Okay,
is he
what-
doing?
all right.
And, like the more I listen to like this is the like
I
the
wanna hear you guys.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about the poopity scoop?
Oh, I think that's funny.
Hilarious.
Oh no! I think I've heard about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think it's hilarious, but like I don't like really like. I mean, like it's Kanye, you know.
I really
so,
like
I think
the-
it's hilarious, but like I don't really just like. I don't even really think of it as one of his songs. I think think of it as like one of those things.
No,
that-
it's a joke track.
Yeah,
I
it's
really,
a
I
joke track.
really like the idea of like going forward, him using that kind of like as a calling card that a song is like a joke track.
Mhm.
Right.
Like, cause he did it in Ecstasy.
Mhm.
Except in What Would Meek Do?
What?
That was in What Would Meek Do? By Pusha T. It was on Daytona.
Oh, did he do it in that?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like whoop whoop.
well, I'm just saying I like the idea of him doing that.
Yeah,
Have you guys heard Ecstasy?
I think I have.
It's
Yeah.
pretty fucking funny.
It's fucking hilarious.
That was one of the newer tracks, right?
Yeah, it like,
Like,
it was
just
like
got-
a complete
there you go.
single. It was like he literally got high on ecstasy and wrote it.
Yes,
and it
yes,
was,
I did hear
It was
that.
all
Yeah.
about him
Yeah.
wanting to fuck his sister-in-laws.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Okay,
And,
yeah.
and there's the whole like backtrack is like ecstasy, ecstasy.
Dude, actually,
like that.
the sample on that
It's
track
really
is
good.
fucking good.
Yeah.
And then he fucking uses the perfect like
Yeah.
sample again.
Here's the thing about Lift Yourself. There's so many people who have used that as like a scapegoat now to say like, oh, Kanye's bad, he's such a shit artist. But like, I guarantee you, when he was doing all this like, producing all these albums for people, I guarantee you that was like one of the throwaway beats that he just didn't use for like,
Oh yeah,
for, like
I'm sure.
Nausea or
I'm sure he has like
something.
a shit ton of.
And then he
throwaway
just
beats.
decided to. For how much shit he produces, I'm sure he has like beats in his
Fucking
back of
has,
his
like,
brain
a
like all the
terabyte of-
time.
Yeah.
beats he didn't use.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
like. I think one of my one of the things I want to like one of my final thoughts on Kanye is his I mentioned it, like, just like his like how incredible he is as a producer.
Yeah.
Like, I think that a lot of people like think about Kanye as like that, you know, like a lot, of course, like a huge Kanye fan think of Kanye as like the producer as well, but like I think a lot of people think of Kanye as like the rapper. But to me, like, I think his true genius shines in his instruments and like how he sets up his songs and just his production value in general.
That was probably like definitely my biggest thing at first when I was like, yeah, whatever, Kanye West, he's a shitty rapper. It's like, and then I realized, like, holy fuck, he's like a master at like creating music.
Yeah, and
like from the fucking bottom up, like just
his songwriting is
things.
fucking uncanny.
Mm-hmm.
He can like pull a song out of his ass and
I just wonder what goes through like some guy's head, like whenever you like can do that. Like, it just makes sense that he'd have such a god complex whenever like literally like what's going through his head could be like one of the next like huge songs of like the decade.
Let me ask you guys, what do you think Kanye could do that would like leave like, oh, this is like goofy Kanye being stupid territory, to like, oh my god, that's like a horrible thing, like in a song, like something that would like be so shitty it's not even funny, it's just like, oh, that's gross.
I don't know.
What do you mean?
I feel like he can make anything and people would see it.
So that's that's what I'm asking, because I really feel like he can do anything.
And he knows, because on that Lift Yourself song, like he totally knows.
But like I think he could probably do something like it's just a spoken word track, right? And he's talking about like either real shitty things that he's done that he doesn't care that he's done them, or like things that he wants to do that are like really shitty that people shouldn't say. I feel like if you were to do like a spoken,
that's what ecstasy.
No, but like a spoken. That's why I
spoken word,
like a spoken word track.
He's just admitting shit.
Yeah, he's just admitting shit. Like
he's confessing to his crimes.
Yeah, he's just and like, you know, like, and of course, like from Kanye to be like coming from somewhere where like he's joking, right? But like I honestly think if you were to like do a spoken word like that and talk about stuff like that, I mean, even if his production value wasn't insane on it, like I don't know if I could get behind it. You know, that'd just be something that's difficult for me.
Just out of curiosity, did any of you guys hear I Feel Like That? It was like a bootleg track that got released like 20... it was a couple of years ago maybe, or maybe like last year. But it was like a bootleg track. I don't know, I just wanted to know if you guys had heard it. Yeah, it was him. It was like unreleased.
Dawson, check the time on that.
You check the time on it, big boy. We're right about 40 minutes.
Alright. Well, does anybody have any like final thoughts on Jesus himself?
He's a fucking god.
He's a genius producer.
What up,
and
Jesus?
I like firmly believe that whatever is going through Kanye's head, like at any point in time, could be like the next huge thing.
I feel like shit when I say it, but I think he's one of the best living artists. You know?
I think
like,
that's
I'm pretty
fair
confident in
to say.
saying that.
I mean, there's so many people that say that, but like when you actually like analyze his like character, it's insane. Like how much shit he's done.
I mean, who else has released fucking 8 albums of just nothing but chart-topping, like...
Yeah.
And
they
while
can all be
simultaneously
in less
being
than 2 decades.
actually good.
In less than 2 decades.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy. He's almost been making music for 20 years.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, he's getting up there.
How old is he?
44?
Yeah, he's like 40-something.
So
And
almost
he's
like
still-
half of his life is music. pretty
Yeah.
much, basically.
And like I think he's still got way more albums under his belt.
Dude, I really hope Kanye just to like finish his career off makes like a fucking insane, like amazing album like no one's ever heard before.
You know what I'd appreciate? I'd appreciate, this is going to be an analogy, but I'd appreciate if his final album, like of course he'd have to be much older, I think, and I'd appreciate if it was something like an artist that I like really appreciate is Leonard Cohen, and he died in 2016 and he released You Want It Darker, and he's got Leonard Cohen's got the track like I'm Out of the Game, and like I'd love to see Kanye like leave like with something that like like Kanye's like leaving the game. He knows he's one of the greatest that's ever lived. It's still the album is still great, and like you just like just something like that where like it just gets
I really
to end
want
like,
Black
the
Star.
melody.
Finale
Yeah, like a
album.
Black
Yeah.
Star as well, or like a Black Star, because
Right.
David Bowie did Black Star the same year.
Right. I want him to put out an album saying like a goodbye album before he like. I don't want him to like have an album like a few years he doesn't release anything and just dies. And it's
Yeah.
like
Right.
he doesn't have any conclusion to his like
Yeah.
legacy
Yeah, that's
until they
right.
find like his computer filled with fucking
Yeah, I
songs
wonder
and they
if he's like
release it.
planned this.
Yeah.
And like he's got the
Dude,
goodbye
they
album.
When Kanye dies, he's gonna have so much posthumous shit released.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
He has to have so much stuff backed up.
That'll be the biggest celebrity death whenever Kanye
Oh
West
yeah,
dies.
for
For sure.
sure.
Yeah.
definitely.
All right, so Kanye West,
Kanye West, he exists.
and we've got it down.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Oh wait, Matt, final thoughts.
Oh yeah, Matt.
I thought he's a good man, and he's gonna continue to be great.
Nice.
Kanye
Kanye
West,
have like
yeah.
anything to plug or?
Wait, what's that? Kanye West?
Kanye
Kanye
West.
West!
What? Hey, he's here. Yeah. I'll edit it in.
Holy
I'll
shit.
edit it coming
Yeah.
in.
Make him go like whoop or something like that.